Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position, preferably. Any position really works, though. You just want to find something that is both sturdy and comfortable. You don't want to feel this sense of instability where you're about to fall off a cliff or fall over, or you're always readjusting. You also don't want to feel uncomfortable because then you're just adjusting during the practice the whole time and you're worried about the other things. So just find what works for you. You can sit in a chair, you can lie down, you could just sit at the edge of a counter. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. However, if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed and you feel more comfortable doing that, that is totally fine. There's really no important point to be made there. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and just leave the screen alone and drop your gaze gently down below you, kind of looking at the floor, the desk, or whatever is just below you and kind of in front of you. We're not staring or analyzing at a particular spot on the floor, but we're also not zoned out and blurry. We just have a gentle, clear gaze directed softly downwards. You're in a nice, comfortable, sturdy position, and your eyes are either closed or open and directed softly down. Maybe you have a lot to do today, or maybe you've done a lot today. Maybe you have ambitious plans for the future throughout your entire life, and maybe you've accomplished great things. Or the opposite is true, and you have no ambition, and you fear the future, and you've accomplished nothing, and so you feel a bit depressed. But the future and the past have no place here and now, because now is what there is. So let's begin today's practice by giving ourselves permission to leave alone the heavy burdens of both the past and the future. And settle your mind clearly on what is simply happening here. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to become. This moment is. Everything else is just thinking. And it's likely that I'm catching you in the middle of a thought right now, probably thinking of the future or the past in some way. And that's okay because the mind will always do this. Thoughts don't know how to be here now. They only reference themselves to the past or the future, even when they talk about now. And our goal here isn't to shut thinking off or turn it off or stop thinking. Our intentions here is simply to leave thinking alone. That's all. So bring your attention to the coming and going sensations of the breath. You can notice it in the tip of your nose, the chest, the lower belly, or anywhere in between. Just simply notice the breath, rising and falling. Let thinking think what it wants to. Your only goal is to simply and gently remain with breathing. As the breath comes in, noticing the breath coming in, staying with it, and watching it go out. Then watching it come right back in. Welcome the breath completely. Am I catching you in a thought again? It's all right. Let the thought continue on. Gently return to breathing. Come back. Come back to breathing. Leave it alone. Come back, rising and falling. And maybe I'm catching you thinking again, lost in the future and the past. But it's interesting, these thoughts arise out of what? What are thoughts talking to? There's something that can see thinking, see breathing. It witnesses sounds and smells and tastes. There's something that seems to be at the center. Can that itself be seen? Is there a center? Turn the attention back. What hears this voice? What is this next thought talking to? This isn't a question for your mind to think about. Look for it in the same way you look for the breath. What am I? Turn the attention back. Look for the looker. What do you discover? Is there something actually there? Or do you notice that the moment you look, there's nothing to see? Right there. Just rest. All right, you can look at the screen. I'm sure you're human watching this, which means you have downs and ups, goods and bads. Some days you're happy, some days you're feeling like crap. We call them good days, bad days. And we're always seeming to try to run away from the bad days, moving towards the good. And it makes sense because why not? Feeling bad hurts. Feeling anxious is difficult. Feeling depressed isn't fun. We'd rather feel good. But the moment we do that, the moment we say, I don't want to feel this anymore, which is understandable, we're saying no to what is. And when we say no to what is, we don't actually see what is, or we're not willing to look. When a bout of depression or anxiety shows up, our first reaction is to run. So we don't learn from it. We don't look at it. So it comes back and plagues us again because we don't know what it is. We haven't seen through it. It's not a bad thing to want to feel good. It's not what I'm saying. But our problems that arise, especially psychologically, will continue to come up in a way that is captivating enough to ruin your day, to ruin your time. Like personally, anxiety is a big one that shows up for me all the time. And if I let it kind of just take over, or if I believe what the brain is saying about, oh, this is going to happen, some future event terrible is going to happen, and I start believing that, not seeing it and trying to run from it, I don't want to feel this, it shows up again and again. But if I'm like, okay, anxiety's here, I'm going to welcome anxiety. Come on in. What are you? What does it feel? What is this mind saying? What is it really? What is this thing I'm trying to run from? And it just kind of doesn't have its same craziness. But if we're not paying attention, anxiety is a big problem. Depression's a big problem because we don't see it. But when we turn towards it and stop running from it, we look at it, we welcome it, we can learn what it really is. It's like the analogy that they use in India for a long time, which is you're walking down a path and you see a snake in the road, you're afraid. And of course, the path you're at, it's at night, but you see a snake in the road and it's afraid. You're afraid of it. But really, it's just a rope. But we don't know that because we don't go up to it to look at it. We run away. So we're always afraid of that snake in the road. But when we go up to it and look, oh, it's just a rope. Oh. It's the same thing with our anxiety, our depression, and even our happiness. We don't look at it, so we don't see what it really is. It's very similar, where you think it's this crazy thing, and it's actually just this sensation and thoughts. And if we don't look at it, it comes back and again and again and again, and we suffer our whole life. So don't run. Welcome your challenges. Welcome them. Invite them into your life. whatever it is that's irritating you and whatever it is that is bothering you. That is your teacher, if you're willing to have the courage to look. That's an Ajahn Chakra quote. Thank you for showing up today. And of course, if you have any questions about what I talk about here, or if you disagree, or if you think that this is not good, or whatever it is, comment below. I also answer all questions in separate question and answer videos. So join the Attentive Mind if you're interested in learning about meditation, but you don't want to get involved in the spiritual stuff. I'm here for you, because I post a video like this every single day. So join me, and I'll be here for you. Don't run from challenges. Welcome them. Thank you for showing up for your life. And as always, without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.